Hello everyone, my name is Tina Spalding and I am a trance channel. I have been asked to make some videos and so I'm going to do that. I channeled Jesus the other day and he asked me to make 7 videos. So I have no idea what he's going to be doing with these 7 videos, but I often do as I'm told, not always, but I'm going to do as I'm told now. So I'm just going to close my eyes, take a couple of breaths, and we will see what he has to say. You are here on purpose. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and these days are difficult ones indeed for many of you, and this is why I have requested that this being do this work for all of you. The frequencies on your planet are becoming quite convoluted. This is the old system battling with the new wave of higher frequency energies that are coming to the surface of this beautiful sphere that you call Earth, Gaia, your home. Many of you will ask, what is Jesus doing talking about spheres and galactic light rays? Well, this is the environment in which you live. It is the environment in which I lived. It was not a different planet then. It was the same, even though, of course, there were far fewer people. But over these last centuries, as your freedoms have been restricted, you have had your frequency lowered rather than raised. How is it lowered? Well, it is lowered through negative teachings. It is lowered through systematic restriction of your creativity. It is lowered through systematic disconnection from nature. It is lowered through systematic training into urban environments and technologies. All of these things that are normal in the Western world now are unnatural. We want to remind you, and when I say we, I mean all of the beings that are non-physical, all of the beings that are energetically focused rather than physically focused. There are many of us here working together to bring into being awareness of what is in your best interests or not in your best interests. These are the basic decision-making values that you all decide with. Am I going to do this because it's good for me, or am I going to do this in spite of the fact that it's bad for me? So many of you do not understand what is good for you and what is not good for you, because the aberrant has become normal. The distorted has become the status quo. We want to remind all of you that in these times of disruption, which is what is happening now, the higher energies, the newer energies, this overwhelming push to evolve consciously, that is what is happening on the planet right now. That is why these teachings are being broadcast through this being. This overriding urge to evolve is arising in all of you. And the old system, the old school systems, the old political systems, the old financial systems, the old energy systems, when we mean energy, we mean gasoline and these kinds of things. These old systems cannot maintain themselves without tremendous effort in this new frequency. And that is what is happening. There is an exertion of negative energy in an effort to maintain these systems. This is why you are seeing things such as mandated vaccinations, for example. These are things that should be voluntary if done at all. But the old system, knowing that they work to lower your frequency, and that is a sad truth, but it is a truth. They work to lower your frequency and to impede your body's own healthy development. This kind of mandated vaccination program is a demonstration of the old system turning up the gas, so to speak, and enforcing against your will that which they deem to be in their best interests. Now, many of you in the West have been convinced, for example, into vaccinating your children. And there was a time in the early days of vaccinations, before money contaminated it and before the power structures usurped it to begin to utilize it for their own purposes. Back in the day, 50 years or so ago, it was beneficial, and you saw a tremendous decrease in deaths and suffering from the diseases that were running rampant at the time. But what you will see now are new diseases, diseases of mind, diseases of spirit, diseases of allergy and intolerance. These are being generated by the unhealthy communities, the unhealthy cities, the unhealthy practices that you are allowing yourselves to be subjected to. And we want to word this very carefully here. Because you've been trained to do certain things, you voluntarily walk into the slaughterhouse. That is what is happening here. We are warning you to focus on nature as much as possible, especially when you feel agitated or upset. We ask you to try your best to eat as healthily as possible. That means going into the fruit and vegetable section of your supermarket first of all, picking things that have been, if possible, locally grown, seasonal fruits and vegetables that have not had to travel thousands and thousands and thousands of miles. Many of the tropical fruits you have are grown in countries that have horrendous applications of chemicals that are unregulated, and so those fruits can look delicious, but they can be very, very poisonous. A local farmer is your best bet, somebody who is struggling to make ends meet, somebody who is working the land with love and their own focus. That is the kind of place you want to grow, you want to buy your food if you are unable to grow it yourself. And of course, for those of you that have a garden patch, put some greens in there and begin to eat them on a regular basis. These dark leafy green vegetables help you integrate the information that comes from sunlight that falls on your bodies and penetrates your bodies. These are not Jesus-y things, we hear you saying, but the Jesus-y things that you have believed in were not the true representation of my teachings. My teachings have always been about healing, and that is what growing your own food will help your body do. My teachings have always been about self-empowerment, about connecting to the divine within, and that is an important process for all of you now. The technologies you have are very seductive. They have been made very seductive on purpose, and they have frequencies and programs running in them that keep hooking you in. So one of the things that you can do to enhance your spiritual evolution at this time is to seriously curb your use of technology for recreational purposes. And by technology, we mean the smartphones. Those smartphones are very, very powerful emitters and are designed specifically to get you to play with them all of the time. So turn your Wi-Fi off, put your phone on airplane mode whenever possible, and pick your messages up occasionally. Don't have them streaming in all day. Most of you have just become so habituated to this way of living that you feel deprived if you don't have a constant and a never-ending stream of information coming your way. What you have is a constant and never-ending stream of negative frequency coming your way. So if you're going out for a walk at the beach or a walk in the forest, leave your phone at home on airplane mode and check the messages when you come home. Don't carry it with you all of the time. There has been a lot of indoctrination in your society into the safety factor of having phones with you all the time. Let us tell you, it makes no difference. If you're in a car accident or if you're in a distressing situation, the phone will not make that much difference. Some of you will argue that point, and you are free to argue for your limitations and for those things that are depleting you. But we are trying to assist you here in aligning your frequency up with the increasing frequencies that are bombarding your planet at this time. Why are we asking you to follow these teachings? Well, these teachings have come to you in this time and place through this being because you need help. The constant bombardment and indoctrination of negativity is affecting your planet's ability to create a happy and loving future. You have been taken deep into darkness. You've been taken deep into fear with the wars and the pharmaceutical companies, the oil and gas companies, all of these companies that are taking from you lots of money and taking from the environment lots of goodness and health. These are all heading towards the top of that pyramid that you know so well, that 1%. They are being siphoned off away from you. So if you have the opportunity to entertain the idea even of moving to a less urbanized environment, we suggest that you do it. You have been deeply programmed into believing that living in the city is cool, living in the city is where it is all happening, but we will tell you living in the country is where it is cool and where it is all happening. In the country, there are birds and there is sunlight and there is grass that you can sit on. There are streams that you can contemplate. There are gardens to be dug up. But you have been taught that to be in the city is cool. To live away from gardening is cool and makes you hip and slick and all of those things that you want to be, that you have been trained into being. But my life in the physical plane was lived very simply. It was on the ground, so to speak, eating organic foods, talking with other humans, speaking words with other humans, looking them in the eye, putting my arm around their shoulders, touching them with healing hands. This is the place where true love resides. This is the place where your happiness resides, in community and communion with your brothers and sisters, not living alone, isolated with your technology. So we are going to bring through a few videos regarding the times in which you live. And so we have asked our dear one here to provide them to you free of charge. And so stay tuned for more encouragement. Look around your life today. What can you do within the parameters that we have suggested? What can you do to raise your frequency? Can you plant some plants in your garden? Can you spend more time in nature? Can you walk away from your technology a little bit? Can you become more creative? Can you talk to some people in person instead of on the phone? Can you do these things? Yes, you can do these things. No matter who you are, no matter where you are, you can raise your frequency. Do not play the victim here. That is what you've been taught to do. You've been pacified and controlled for so long, told to live in little boxes, isolated from nature, fearful of messing your hair up or getting wet or getting dirty. Now is the time to reclaim your natural self, to begin to enjoy that freedom of the non-urbanized environment. We want to encourage you with every fiber of our being to do that starting today. You will feel better. You will feel less neurotic. You will feel less judgmental of yourself. The cities are designed to focus you on consuming material goods. They are focused and designed to keep you worried about real estate prices, worried about the shape of your body and whether or not it'll fit into the latest fashions. When you get in the country and you put on your rubber boots and your jeans and a sweatshirt and you look at the trees and the birds and you sit on a log and watch the seagulls fly, you don't need to worry about those things. You connect with the more natural aspects of this amazing experience, which is your consciousness evolution. We want to remind you your purpose in this incarnation is not to acquire assets, it is to evolve consciously. And there is an increasing imperative to push you towards that. And if you are not keeping up with the frequencies, you will begin to feel agitated and confused, because the darker aspects of your training programs will be challenged by this external frequency, this external push to evolve. But it seems to be external. It is not actually external. It is a natural evolution that is happening here. It is the culmination of many centuries of increasing frequencies. And now is the time when you must accept that this is happening, whether or not you understand it, whether or not you agree with it. It does not matter. It is happening. And so we suggest that you listen to our prescriptions as best you can and understand that disruptions in your mind right now are in fact the old battling with the new. Side with the new, the freedom, the natural, the self-expressive, the open, and you will feel yourself calm down. Side with the old, the financial, the material, the dirty energy, the old way of doing things, and you will not be at peace. Not because you are being punished by a vengeful God, but because you are going counter to the increasing frequencies that are active now and acting upon your planet. We will speak to you again soon. Okay, I guess that's a little pep talk for all of us. I know I have been feeling more agitated than normal, struggling with some things that I haven't been struggling with for quite a while. I'm very fortunate in the sense that I have lots of guidance and I have a well-established practice of training my mind and focusing on the good and the natural. And so I've been walking a lot in nature. I'm fortunate I live in a rural place. So I do encourage you to do that. It does set a lot of things right when you're feeling confused and upset. So I guess we'll be looking forward to another video tomorrow, and I'll load this one up and I'll talk to you again soon. Please subscribe if you haven't, and visit my website at channelingjesus.com. You can book individual sessions with me and Ananda, who are my guides and teachers. There are recordings of workshops that you can purchase in our web store, and information on all of the books that I have channeled in the last few years. So thank you for supporting this YouTube channel, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.